From athletic stuff like a full-court pickup game, swish, to athletic-ish stuff like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athletic-ish, Sierra's got it.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs. So you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hello and welcome to the earliest ever episode of Lexx Education. It's the comedy science podcast where comedian me, Laura Lexx, tries to learn science from that pesky little brother of hers, Ron.
Hello, I'm Ron.
And normally we do it at least at 8 a.m. Right now it's 7:33. It is the most Kokio episode we've ever tried to lay down.
We're up and we're ready and we're raring to go. It's 8:33 here, so it's
That's a bit more
really
for you.
fine.
I'm awake before my child to record this.
That's sad. What have you got to do at like 8:30?
Oh, well. Well, I got to do this. And then we've got to get the dogs out for a walk. Then we're all going on a family trip with me to get a smear test. And then we're all going up to London because husband of the podcast has like a lunchtime corporate in central London. And I thought this would be a fun way to all go to London and take Child of the podcast to like one of the museums or just see some cool London-y bits.
Oh, I should take it to the Natural History Museum.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do while he's doing his show. I just wanted to be spontaneous and fun.
What is better for family cohesion than a smear test and a Thames link?
Exactly. So that's the day we're planning to have. I'm trying a thing. Here's the thing, Ron. I think possibly since we had Child of the podcast, I've been trying to live a bit too 2.4 children-y. And obviously, I'm quite an erratic creative person with an erratic creative job. And the strain of trying to be a normal parent and an eccentric creative causes quite a pull in two directions. So what I'm trying to do now is lean a bit harder into, we have a chaotic life, let's just randomly go to London on a Thursday and make the most of that chaos instead of fighting against it.
Yeah, why not? Especially before the little one's in school.
Exactly. So that's today's plan. We're going to have a little train trip, which she loves, the train. I've taken her to London before. She came with me to a show, a kids show. She loves the train. She loves being around people. And then, yeah, she and I will pop down to Kensington. She loves shopping. She loves fun, busy stuff.
She does love shopping. She's very materialistic.
She is. She loves stuff, man. I don't know where she gets it from. Says the clutter hoarder. And then, yeah, we'll hang out with Tom. Maybe go down to the river. See some cool skyscrapers. She loves the Sky Tower.
It's a bit out of the way, but you could take it to Curve Gardens. That's up in East London.
Maybe when you move, we'll do that as a day trip from Uncle Ron's house.
Curve Gardens is very nice.
Yeah, that's my day.
That's super nice.
Apart from this, well, I mean, and the smear test. Hey, listen, you've got to do it. You've just got to get checked, everybody.
You got to see how you smear.
Yeah. I'm taking my bagel.
No, that's what they're smearing, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is kind of a bagel, isn't it?
It is kind of a bagel.
Oh,
anyway, shut up, Laura.
Real early morning horrible, and this pop screen is just blasting it all back at me.
Laura, Gavin and Stacey, you remember it, right?
Yeah.
Famous UK TV show.
Yeah, I had it all on DVD.
Yeah, you loved it, we loved it, everyone loved it.
Yeah.
I watched it all at the time, and then I never watched it since. I didn't know it was such a cultural phenomenon until it came back and everyone lost their minds.
Yeah.
launched James Corden's career in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know that there's a US version?
I did not know there was a US version. No.
There's a US version of Gavin and Stacey, Laura. Now, it's not called Gavin and Stacey, which are inherently British names. It's called Us and Them.
Oh, I have heard of that, I think. I did not know that was Gavin and Stacey.
Do you know who plays Stacey?
No.
Let me send you a picture of the cast.
Oh, God. What's happening now? Oh, if they made it a race thing, what's this? No. Alexis Bledel? Oh.
We definitely have to do a bonus ep of Gilmore Me Softly with this pod where we watch Us and
I
Them.
think we start a watch along. I think we add it to the rotor of Patreon immediately.
Okay, Us and Them Me Softly with this pod.
No. Us, them, us and them, and us and them, because that's us and our audience.
Ooh, us and them and us and them.
Yeah. Us and them and us and them. That's going in. That's going to be... What do we got? That's going to be one of our catch-up ones. We're going to do 28 days, and then us and them is in.
Nice. And we should do the next Gilmore at some point.
Oh, yeah, we'll keep Gilmore in, but I like the variety. I don't want it to get too Gilmore-y. I don't mind, a Gilmore a month or whatnot. But I like... And the watch-alongs are fun because they are less creatively draining to keep coming up with separate Detention episodes. Although, guys, do shout if you've got ideas that you want us to do Detention. Australian wildlife was really fun.
That was fun.
But
Detentrons work better when it's biology because then I can speak with confidence about what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, good fun. Yeah, all right. Oh, wow. So how have they done it then? Is it like a... Is one of them from the South?
Because it's America, and America's massive. But then it does, like, they need to be from different places. I'm pretty sure one of them's from New York and the other one's from like rural Pennsylvania, which on the grand scheme of America just is not that far
away, is it? No.
Yeah, both East Coast, culturally not too dissimilar.
No.
Why is there a link here to it being called Elon Musk's Gavin and Stacey?
Oh.
Anyway.
It's on is it on ITVX? Where can we watch this? We'll find it.
Apparently it is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's got the mum from Malcolm in the Middle.
But they've still called the people in it Gavin and Stacey.
Have they?
Well, I'm looking at the IMDb and it says focuses on the key life moments for Gavin and Stacey.
Oh my god, she's called Gavin and Stacey.
I don't think she's called Gavin. That would be a real change up.
And Gwen and Nessa?
What a mad decision.
I'm not seeing a Neil.
No.
Spoilers.
Jim Gaffigan's in it? I like him, I think, unless he's been cancelled and I haven't heard of it.
I mean, there are people in it, like, that you see and stuff.
Yeah.
Kerry Kenny, she's very funny and stuff.
Michael Ian Black, I would never have known his name, but I've seen him and stuff.
The man with the tiniest face.
I know the name Jason Ritter, I just don't know who he is. He's the Gavin guy.
Jane Kaczmarek, she's in stuff.
Yeah.
John Carroll Lynch.
Malcolm in the Middle's back, isn't it?
Pardon?
Malcolm in the Middle's back.
It is, yeah.
Have you been watching it?
No, it did make me kind of want to rewatch Malcolm in the Middle Classic, but I don't like to reward people for going back to the well.
Right.
Come up with a new thing.
Fair. Speaking of that, who did I hear this from? Can't remember. Jen Brister. That's who I heard this from. Because I was saying, I really want to watch The Pit.
Name drop.
We went for lunch margaritas on Monday, and it was marvellous.
I'm too creative for being at home. Lunch margaritas with Brister.
It was genuinely part of my, I don't have to go anywhere later. Child of the podcast is at nursery. Why shouldn't I have lunch margaritas? What a great life. Lean into it. Stop fighting it. Yeah, I was talking to her about how I really want to watch The Pit, which is this Noah Wyle one. Partly
He's got
because
nice. I hear he has very nice forearms.
oh, I love a forearm.
I
Robin
hear
Hood
that's
was
the big
gateway drug
sexual
to that.
attraction of that show is he has his sleeves rolled up and he has nice forearms. That's what John Oliver said.
Okay. See, the appeal for me is that I'm on Threads a lot, and there's some Threads lore of a person. Let me find the actual post. Okay, so someone posted on Threads quite randomly, got 3 episodes into season 1 of The Pit, and obviously it's great. However, I didn't understand why it's called Pittsburgh Hospital and why there's steel as apparel and whatnot if it takes place in Hawaii. Started explaining this confusion to my husband and realised I have no idea why I thought it was based in Hawaii. It's very goddamn clear it's in Pittsburgh. And so it's like a running joke on Threads now that it's a Pittsburgh-themed hospital in Hawaii. And there's just a lot of fun community around The Pit. And I found out with that, they originally pitched that as being a spin-off of ER. And said to the people from ER, we've got the show. It would be a real great, like, what's Dr. Carter, I think, Noah Wiley's character was in that, doing now. Like, let's make this an ER spin-off. People will love it. And then, people go back and watch ER and stuff. And the stupid people of ER slept on it and said no. And now it's a runaway smash hit.
But that's great. It's a new thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it had been made as a spin-off, would that have clouded you?
I mean, I haven't watched either way. I'm broadly uninterested in hospital things. But I think that's good. Have a new hospital thing. Similar as it is.
Don't you love House?
I used to watch it when I was like 14, yeah.
Yeah, I thought all of you siblings of the podcast were really into House.
I mean, I've tried to rewatch it as a sentient adult, and it's a pretty tough watch.
I think I only found out in the last year. I've never really watched it. It was a you guys thing. But I only found out in the last year that he's called House because of Holmes. Like, it's a Sherlock Holmes thing.
It's a Sherlock Holmes thing, yeah.
That's really clunky.
Yeah, and then you have Wilson instead of Watson is his buddy, and then the woman that runs the hospital is called Dr. Cuddy instead of Hudson because she's the maid kind of character.
Yes, a woman that runs a hospital. That should be the maid character.
Yeah.
What's
she's the one that's always trying to dampen his flame and keep him from being brilliant with the rules.
Is there any virus that gets the best of him called like the Foriati virus?
No, that's lupus.
Oh.
Yeah. It's lupus is a joke in the Dr. House community because he's always suggesting it's lupus and it's never lupus until like season 8 or something, and then one time it's lupus.
Does the person die of lupus?
I don't remember.
Oh. All right, I'm adding a House rewatch. We only do rewatches now.
Have you ever watched an episode of House?
Probably like back in the day.
Yeah.
When we weren't playing SingStar. Whatever
Buzz.
else was on.
I heard you got on the Wheel of Fortune train last night.
I did. I did.
You as into it as me and Meg?
No is the quick answer. That's not to say I could never be.
Is it because of all of the baffling rules and how fast everything happens?
No, it's honestly because of how slow everything happened. There was a couple of rounds last night where Meg and I just watched a man play Wheel of Fortune badly because every time we spun the bloody wheel, we went bankrupt. So we'd watch all of the Snow Leopard level leopard level animations, and then he would just have no idea what this phrase was, and we'd be like, we've worked it out, and this is an American newspaper title. And he'd be buying vowels and then just testing to see if there's an X. And then we'd be like, great, okay, he's dead. Let's continue. Bankrupt. Mesoton. Oh, good. It's back to Metro 3952. And it was unbearable.
Well, Well, this is why we want to play as threesies, and then we don't have strangers in the game.
Yeah. It also turns out I've got the same problem as Meg, where I do just say what it is when I can see what it is. And then it's basically a game of whoever's go it is next wins.
Yeah, Meg is bad for that.
Yeah, me too.
I do very well.
I did win, though, last night, but we were playing against an idiot. And
Everyone we've played has been dumb as a bag of rocks.
I'm wondering, it must be children or the stupidest people you've ever met in your life, because I cannot work out what joy they had in it.
We played the other night, and someone joined for 2 games with us, and they didn't score a single point until like the last round of the second game.
Wow.
And you're just like, why? They genuinely just watched me and Meg play Wheel of Fortune for like, what's that, like 40 minutes or something.
Is that what it is? Do you think Wheel of Fortune stopped airing? And there's people out there that need a hit, and this is the best they can get?
No, I think it's free on PlayStation.
I wish they'd make a Jeopardy one.
There is a Jeopardy one, but it's not free.
How much is it?
When I bought it, because I already had it, but I didn't want to force Megan to do that, I think it was £16.
Oh, I would think about getting Jeopardy.
Yeah, Jeopardy would be way better.
Oh, when I finally get paid. I've not been paid since the 4th of February, and things are tight. But there's so much money due. But, I might treat myself to a little Jeppers.
Oh, I'd be so in for playing Jeppers. God, I love Jeopardy. I'd say at least once a month I Google, like, watch Jeopardy online, just to try and... Because there used to be some on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, where was I the other day? And it was just on terrestrial.
That's the dream.
Yeah. Can't remember.
Not watching the UK version, though.
Who hosts it?
Stephen Fry.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He'll be too chatty. The beauty of Jeopardy is the absolute lack of fat on that show.
Yeah. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And then they tell one really awkward story to get it all out of the way.
And then they just play the game.
I think I've told you before my favourite ever story that someone said on Jeopardy when I was watching, and it was inexplicable, where she was talking about how her ex-boyfriend bought her a car immobiliser for her car.
After they'd broken up, or?
No. Her boyfriend at the time that she was no longer with bought her a car immobiliser.
Wow.
Yeah, that was... And you might be thinking, oh, was she like a returning champ? Had she done 15? And she was really... No, that was the thing. That was her thing. Her one shot on the show. That's what she said.
Huh. Why would they leave that in the edit?
I don't know. Like, imagine what else... Because you turn up to these things and you give like a list of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the best one.
Yeah. Although now I'm telling this story, did that happen to me or did that happen to Tim from Complete Guide to Everything? Was this a story he tells on that podcast?
Oh no, we're back in Podception again.
I can't remember. Anyway. Let's not worry too much about that.
Should we do some science?
Let's do some science, Laura. What murky water are we paddling about in at the moment?
Let's check the awkward book. Oh, the butterfly. The butterfly of, God, I've written down everything except what the butterfly is. Fuck. I believe the butterfly is an amino acid.
Yeah.
Great. That's great. And it's got like a stalky body of a C, a main C, and an R group. Variable side chain. We're so welcome to be here. Variable side chain. featuring Lisa and Margaret and Lou.
No one in a band's called Margaret.
She's the variable bar.
Someone in a band called Margaret.
I bet there have been band members called
Put your hands up, Wembley, for Margaret. Sorry to any Margarets listening, but guaranteed you don't play an instrument. You've never had sex.
Oh, they might play an instrument. They might play a violin.
Yeah, an oboe.
Yeah. Piano?
No.
I think a Margaret could play a piano.
No, Margarets don't play piano. They play jazz on a piano. Sorry, Margarets.
I'm going to Google famous musical Margarets.
They'll go by Maggie or something like that.
There must be. There's a Norwegian musical group called the Margarets. How about
Famous
this?
musical
Alternative rock
Margarets.
and pop. A lot of classical.
Yeah. Margaret Marshall, a renowned Scottish soprano.
Oh.
We've got Mary Margaret O'Hara, but that's a middle name, so that doesn't count. Mad Margaret, a character in the Gilbert and Sullivan comic opera Ruddigore.
All right. Well, she's the variable element of the variable side chain. So that comes off the main C. Then you've got two wings to the amino acid. You've got the east wing, which is the carboxyl group, and that is actually what makes the amino acid acidic. The O and the H compound has a tendency to wander off. And in the west wing, you've got the amino group. Basic. Can't remember what that means.
It means it's an alkali.
What the amino group is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that is an amino acid one.
Yeah, we did amino acids. There are 20 amino acids. We talked about the peptide bond, where the amino group from one amino acid bonds to the carboxylic group from another amino acid forms the peptide bond. They form a long, snaky chain. Today, we're going to talk more about protein structure, okay? And how those amino acids then become a protein, okay?
All right. How do you become protein, Mr. Amino?
There are 4 levels of protein structure, okay? Laura?
Ooh, like the Masons. No, he doesn't like that. You get inducted into being a protein, and you're a basic protein. And then the further up the chain you go, the more...
No, I didn't like it. Don't double down.
I'm doubling down. Double down for double beans.
Protein molecules, the smallest protein molecule, Laura, 3 amino acids.
The 3 aminos. Did you like that one?
I liked it more than the Masons bit. But I do think there's a bit of headroom for improvement. Who is this character that's saying the 3 amino?
Well, like the 3 amigos.
Oh, I thought it was a 3 Musketeers thing.
No, it was like the 3 amigos thing, because amino is very similar to amigo and not similar to musketeer.
That's fair. One of my colleagues, his surname is Amigo. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Does he have Spanish heritage?
Not visibly.
Oh.
And then he's got the same name as someone else that me and Judith know. So then at home I call him Mr. Amigo.
Oh, fun.
Nice. Yeah. The biggest protein, Laura. So the smallest one has 3 amino acids. How big do you think the biggest one is?
84.
34.
Oh.
1,000.
Whoa! Good switcheroo, Ron.
Yeah, blew
Look at us mastering the art of the format.
That's a protein called titin.
Titan.
Yes.
That
it's
is
big.
better than Margaret, isn't it? If you turned up
Yeah,
in Titan.
Margaretin.
Maybe Margaret's Titan's wife, and they actually got married before Titan became the biggest amino acid. Protein. It's a protein.
You know what? Not everything has to be an extended universe. We can have the Margaret bit, and we can have Titan being the name of a protein, and those things can be distinct.
Well, I'm just enjoying.
You want to luxuriate in your famous musical Margaret, but...
Oh, I spelled Titan right first time.
Titin?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay,
Lauren.
Titin. Titin.
So you have 20 different types of amino
Titan
acid.
is the biggest one.
You have 20... You have 20 different amino acids, Laura.
Yep.
What is the simplest thing about their structure when you string them all together? What do you think primary structure is?
Gosh. This is one of these questions where I think for you think you've funneled my brain to the wide end of a cone, and there's only really one way to fall down. But for me, I'm like a little silver ball about to be pinged into a pinball machine. There's so many fucking options that I could ding. I don't know.
So
what actually is the question? What do I think is primary structure?
So we're primary structure. There's 4 different tiers of protein structure, and they kind of you sort of build from the ground up. And if you think you have 20 different types of amino acid, they all get joined together in a long line.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you need to know about that line before you then work out extra bits of protein structure?
If it's straight.
No. That's actually closer to secondary structure.
Oh, okay. If it is fully saturated.
That's just saying stuff.
No, that is
Yes.
applying my knowledge of long chains of fats and seeing if it also applies to proteins.
This is not fats.
Okay,
So-
but it's not just saying stuff, Ron.
What about, Laura?
It's
just
sideways
saying stuff.
sliding
It's just saying
of
stuff.
information.
No, Laura. Okay, imagine they're not amino acids. They're letters.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about like putting a book together, and obviously, like, you know, there are different parts of putting the book together. What goes, you know, where the paragraph breaks are, what goes on what page, font, spacing, all of these things. But what is the first thing you need to know about all of the letters in the book? What order they go in? The sequence of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, sorry. Wind it back. What was the question now that was the very obvious answer to?
What's the primary structure of a protein? It's the order of the amino acids.
Okay. So, primary structure, order. Okay.
Yeah, because the simplest, like the building block of the protein, you have a polypeptide chain. That will be just a string of amino acids, and obviously we need to know which amino acids and what order they're in the string.
Yeah, what you spelling, Titan?
Exactly. The order of these amino acids, it's that is encoded in your DNA.
Okay.
That's what a DNA tells another molecule called a ribosome what to make.
That's the recipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
The primary structure is specific for each protein, because there are different things can happen, but it's this order of amino acids and then the variable side chains of the amino acids in that order that then inform the rest of the structure. Okay. If you have a side group that has a charged bit on it, and then there's another side group somewhere else in the molecule that has the opposite charge, those bits are going to be attracted together. So then the polypeptide starts folding up in that way. Or if you have 10 amino acids in a row that are all hydrophobic and the ones around those are hydrophilic, the hydrophobic ones are going to group together, hydrophilic ones will go around them. So the primary structure is just the long chain of amino acids, but what amino acids those are and the order that they're in then defines the other parts of the structure. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Any questions about that before we move on to secondary?
No, that seems obvious now. Watch it float away, float away, float away.
What's at either end of the polypeptide chain, Laura?
A hydrogen.
Go out one level.
The variable R group.
No, because that's in the middle of the amino acid. You were very close. You're technically not wrong with hydrogen, but it's just not quite what I wanted you to say.
Oh.
What's on either side of an amino acid?
The groups, the amino group and the carboxyl group.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just worth noting that at one end of the polypeptide chain you will have an amine group, and at the other end you will have a carboxyl group.
Okay.
Because those can play, as we know, one of those is basic, the other one's acidic. Proton donor, protein, proton acceptor. Those will play a part in the structure of the protein as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Laura. The next level of protein structure is the secondary structure. Okay?
Yeah.
Secondary structure is obviously we have the long string, but we know that there's two types of proteins. We have fibrous and globular. With the fibrous ones are obviously just fibers. So all of this we're talking about is for globular proteins. The long string that we get, it starts folding up in the environment, as we've said.
Well, Margaret's playing the bloody accordion.
Yeah, it's cringing at Margaret's awful bleating, and it is folding up. The second, both secondary and tertiary structure are about how that folds. The difference between them is secondary structure is sort of repeated shapes that you'll need to know the name of.
Oh.
Held together with hydrogen bonds, and then the tertiary structure is more the sort of the big picture folding that turns it into a big gloopy mess.
Big picture folding. All right.
So, do you remember we've talked before about electronegativity and how some atoms have a better ability to pull the electrons close to them?
Yes.
Than others. We've talked before about how certain atoms are so good at doing this that they cause a small sort of polar bond in with an atom that they're bonded with. This causes a charge and it allows them to be attracted to another atom doing the same thing somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's called a hydrogen bond. Now, the reason why we've been banging on about the amine group and the carboxyl group is this happens between the hydrogen of the amine group. Sorry, a little burp. The hydrogen of the amine group and the double bonded oxygen of a carboxyl group of a different amino acid.
Right, let's do this again, Jazzier, because that just failed. Wah wah.
Okay.
Could not open image in head.
You have the
File not found.
You have the periodic table, okay?
Yeah.
On the far right of the periodic table.
Uh-oh. You've got the party that's really getting somewhere.
It's where the greediest, cuntiest atoms live.
Okay.
It's where you've got nitrogen and oxygen, okay?
Boo. Okay.
Nitrogen, as we know, is in the amine group. Carboxyl group has that double bonded oxygen. Okay?
Yeah.
It's double bonded. It's double barreled. It's dripping with privilege, this oxygen.
Boo. Yeah, okay.
Carbon's the commoners, you know?
Yeah.
Carbon's the workforce of the molecule. Mostly it's carbon, right?
Yeah.
You also have hydrogen. Hydrogens are small and weak, easy to take advantage of.
Oh, okay.
So you've got a nitrogen bonded to a hydrogen, and it is using its privilege to steal the electron from that hydrogen. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
That leaves, then we know electrons are negatively charged. So if you pull the electron away from the hydrogen, that leaves that hydrogen with a positive charge.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, the same thing is happening with the carbon and the double bonded oxygen. However, in that case, the oxygen is pulling 4 electrons, because actually, you know, each covalent bond is a pair. So it's pulling 4 electrons closer to itself from the carbon. The oxygen is greedy, steals, it's on the far right. And so the oxygen, with electrons closer to it, that then has a negative charge.
Yeah.
The hydrogen...
That's going to want to touch the hydrogens.
Exactly. They are then attracted together. It forms what we call an intermolecular bond. A hydrogen bond. That's called a hydrogen bond.
Okay.
Okay? Now, as the amine group and the
The name's
carboxylic...
Bond. Hydrogen bond.
5 years too late for that, Joe. We've been talking about bonds for so long.
Well, listen up, Ron. You've got to leave some dry powder ready for later. You don't know that your podcast's going to run for 5 clean years.
Because we've got the amine group and the carboxylic group in every single amino acid, that means a protein is riddled with hydrogen bonds.
Okay.
There's propensity for them to be one between every single amino acid, if you want.
Okay.
Because of this, because of how many hydrogen bonds it can make, you get repeating structures in the secondary, and that's what the secondary structure is these repeating structures in the protein that you need to be able to name and recognize in a protein, but they're easy to recognize. I'm just finding a good picture.
Well, can I suggest we do that next time?
No.
Yes.
We're halfway through a thought.
No. The repeating structures feels like a fun little module to start with next time with a fresh brain.
No, we can't stop halfway through. We should bash all of this out. It's not complicated.
No, it's gone now, Ron. The moment's over. Well done. We did really great stuff.
Let's at least finish the fucking thought.
No.
People are complaining in the Discord that we're doing biochemistry for too long.
Well, listen to it on double speed then, because I simply can't learn quicker than this.
We've barely learnt anything.
We have! We've done good stuff there.
What we have learnt, Laura, is primary structure is the order of the amino acids.
Yeah. Secondary structure is some folding. Third structure is the big deal folding. We've learned about hydrogen bonds. We've learned about electrons. We've learned about the levels of protein. We've learned smallest to biggest. We've done
All right, I'm not going
loads.
to fight you. I can't be bothered either.
No, it's not that I can't be bothered, Ron. It's that I want to quit while I'm ahead just one time.
Oh, yeah, because we never quit on this podcast.
Not when we're ahead. We quit when we're livid.
We've never been ahead before.
Exactly. So let's just bathe in this.
All right, cool. But with this quitting while you're ahead, you need to remember this next time.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, we've only got a
Because
week
if you don't
between
remember any of
records.
this next time, I'm going to be angry that we didn't carry on going, because we could have bashed through more if it's all, like, if the cup is just running over anyway.
No. We will. Look, we're coming back next week. We're doing whatever day it was we put in for next week, Ron. Tuesday. That is only 5 days away. And we're
Okay,
going to
yeah,
crush
that's
it.
on you. Yeah, cool.
You're being
I
quite
need to
rude
get to
and
work anyway.
dismissive.
I'm just letting you know what I expect of you.
I think the feedback from the listeners about this episode is going to be some of the best feedback we've ever had. And you're going to go, God, she was right. She's not a scientist, but she is an entertainer.
Okay, but you have to edit this out because those sycophants will say that if you've asked them to say it.
I haven't asked anything, Ron. I've simply commented on my expectations.
But they'll be like, oh, Laura was right. What an amazing episode. That fucking asshole Ron wanted to keep going through the science.
Yeah.
Class dismissed.